What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So last week we left off with the trunk pan getting welded in, and so today what we're trying to do is, I've already started, but just make some little filler panels to get up all of our gaps, because like I said before, the 70-73 trunk pan does not fit directly into a 78. So what we'll do is make some panels for here, and I'm only going to go up to the second skin. I'm not going to go up to the seam like the factory would. I don't see there to be any point to do that. So what we're going to do is just make some patch panels and then go up to this wall and then call it good. That way we can do some body work, fill it out, make sure everything's nice and smooth, and then go ahead and prep it for the bed liner. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go hit that subscribe button. So what I do is take some cardboard and I trace out my shape, cut it out, make sure it fits on the car good, and then what I'll do is transfer it to some sheet metal, cut that out, and then trim the fit, and then once we're ready, we'll weld them in. Alright, so we got all the patch panels welded in, and I'll just show you guys real quick. So we had a piece here, another piece here, and another piece here. Now I did it underneath the floor pan, that way when I ground down the welds, that the sheet metal would be flatter. That way, so when we put some body fill on here, it would actually lay a little bit nicer, and we wouldn't take as much. So no more holes in the floor, got it all patched up. Now usually from this step, some people would, or some body shops, some people would just seam seal this because you're going to put carpet in the rear. But we're not going to put carpet, we're actually going to put Raptor liner. And so what we need to do, we need to Bondo it, smooth it out, make it look nice. That way when we Raptor liner it, or bed liner, whatever you want to call it, there's no imperfections, you can't see a seam, you can't tell that the trunk pan's ever been replaced. So kind of the same thing underneath, we're going to use a fiberglass body filler. That way when we put it on, it's waterproof underneath, and then we'll Bondo it, we'll make it look nice, we'll finish it, and then we'll bed line it after the cage is installed. Just because when they weld in the plates, it's probably going to distort the metal a little bit, or it's going to shrink and expand, or it's going to melt the bed liner off. So we'll get the cage installed first, then we'll worry about the underside. But right now the trunk pan, I should be clear of where they're going to put the plates, so I can go ahead and start doing some body fill. First coat of body filler is on. Looks pretty good, and I can already tell it's actually really nice and smooth compared to where the new sheet metal was to the old sheet metal. So same thing with around here. I know it looked pretty ugly, but it's definitely going to smooth out. So that's good, it's exciting. And what I'll do is I'll start sanding that tomorrow and put another coat on and start trying to finish it up. But I won't bed line it, like I was saying, until we get the cage in and done. And then so tomorrow I can sand, and then we'll also get the fuel cell mounted up, because I got some hardware and I got some nylock bolts or nuts, and I got some tubing to make our little pedestals to lift the fuel cell up. That way it clears the sump for the trunk pan. Alright, so it's the next day, and we're going to mount up this fuel cell today, and then we're also going to do a little bit of body work. And what I mean by that is just we're going to sand down all the rough Bondo that we put on, and see where it needs to be put on some more, and then just kind of finalize everything like that. And then, like I said, get the fuel cell mounted. So I'm going to make some pedestals, use the bandsaw, cut up some tubing, and then go ahead and get that thing mounted. Alrighty, so we got the tank in, and went ahead and made these little pedestals, which I was talking about. And some in the rear, might be a little hard to see, but I mean, it is solid. It ain't going nowhere. So underneath, what I did, I had to make these little 45 pieces of tubing. That way the nuts would sit flat, and what I did, I put a couple tacks on each nut, That way we can come up top, and if I ever have to take the fuel cell out, we can just zip it up from the top and not have to worry about nuts underneath. So this is what I was talking about, guys. I just put little pedestals, I guess you can call them. It's just some round tubing, and just put a couple tack welds onto the floor just so they have somewhere to sit and stay. So times like this, I wish I had a TIG welder. We could have TIG welded them, but you know, it is what it is. But it's gonna work. So, but secondly, I just go to take my Speedmaster fuel cell tank lid off, and the freaking handle literally just snapped right off. Has this happened to any of you guys? Either way, I'm gonna send them an email because that's kind of BS. I almost forgot to mention that we're getting the rear end on Tuesday next week. So next week's video, we'll prep the car, we'll get the leaf springs in hopefully, and talk about the rear end and stuff like that. So that's exciting. If you don't already, go follow us on Facebook and Instagram at DA Performance 20. Instagram is DA_Performance 20. We post some kind of backstory, things that we're doing currently, and you know, future stuff that we're, you know, parts, stuff like that coming in. So make sure you go follow those up. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. Do us a favor and go hit that subscribe button if you already haven't, and we'll see you in the next video.